BRB UK. Worse teeth, better accents.
Hello, and indeed, ahoy, hoy. Welcome one and all to episode 589, that's a big number, of BRB UK. I am Dan, I'm one of your hosts. Good evening to you if you're watching live, or good whatever heck time of the day this is for you at the moment if you're not watching live. Because we're live, aren't we, Coleman? We are live.
We'll do it live.
We are live. Hi.
Yep. Tim, are you live?
No. I'm
Good.
at least a few seconds behind, always.
Yes.
In real life, online, whatever.
Yep, we've blamed your internet, you're just a half-wit.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing a thing. Coleman just kind of dropped it on us as we were sidling up to the mic, ready for a lazy Thursday evening of podcasting. Going, oh, by the way, we're going to do this to everyone on the internet.
Some of
We'll do it
us,
live.
and by some of us, I mean one of us, had checked the Discord earlier in the day, Dan, and so was aware of this information beforehand.
I saw there was a YouTube link, so I figured there might be shenanigans in the offing, but yes.
Just to
Anyway.
update, so we've been live streaming kind of publicly, privately. We've been doing it on our Discord just for testing,
That
making sure
sounded
things
so dodgy.
Surprise.
work and
Discord.
everything.
He's been sending me pictures. I don't like them. No means
but
no,
now-
Coleman.
checked the levels last week. We seemed all right. I thought it would be a good time to bite the bullet on
I'm
this
not buying any bullets.
episode 589.
Sounds like a stupid idea.
Monumental episode to start live streaming publicly.
Yes,
So
it's
we're
a
on
catchy
YouTube.
number.
And we're on Twitch, which I checked. I think we haven't streamed to Twitch in 6 years.
Oh, nice. About time.
Yeah,
There's
we know
a-
how to internet.
It's all changed. It's scary. I don't like it. There's bits. There's people
Right.
live streaming
Okay.
in hot tubs. Bob Ross isn't on there anymore. I don't know what's happening. The world is
God.
scary and I don't like it.
Can I just say for the record, I'm never, and listeners, you'll thank me for this, I am never, ever, ever going to podcast live from a hot tub.
You don't have a hot tub.
Exactly. There's one good reason. Two,
Yeah,
people
that's
do
one
not need
major
to see me in a-
hurdle.
people do not need to see me in a hot tub. It's not pleasant.
I might go around Tim's and bring a prattling pool.
A
Yeah.
prattling
We'll live
pool.
stream
Prattling
Yeah.
pool.
a real prattling pool around
Are
Tim's.
you going to have the little armbands and everything, little ducky armbands?
Yep.
Just in case
Yeah, little
that-
floaties.
Yeah, in case that 6 inches of water catches you off guard.
We'll wear our.
But channeling your inner Master Chief. Oh, did it go above my ankle? I'm dead.
I was thinking we could Baywatch theme it. You know, Tim will be
Right.
Pamela Anderson. I'll be the Hoff. I think it's
Oh,
good.
Nice.
Good.
Seriously, I am
Slow motion
far too-
running.
No,
Yeah.
not as far into middle age as we are, Tim. No one needs to see a slow-mo running. There are bits of me that move before other bits of me. It wouldn't be pleasant.
I think I should have the singlet actually with my moves.
Nice.
Mhm.
Are you going to
Running
go
in
for
slow-mo.
for the secret inbuilt Wonder Bra in your one piece?
I don't need it.
Don't you? Wow,
Just gonna go
It's all
topless.
flesh, baby.
nice.
Right.
It's
Shall we
all
talk
cl-
about some? Shall we talk about video games?
It's
Please,
all
let's.
clammy man flesh.
Slightly less chance of being disgusting.
Clammy man flesh.
Dan!
Yes.
Let's get on with it.
All right. Okay. So, oh, my mic just went really weird. Did that go really weird for you?
It
guys?
did. I heard
Yes.
it. It was
Oh,
lovely.
dear.
Can you do
You
it
heard
again?
it live, Dan, as well.
I'd
Do it
really
again.
Heard it
rather
live.
do it again. There we go. Doing it live. Actual proof. There we go. So chaps, we've played some stuff. Well, I think me and Coleman have. Tim's just. You said all you've done is VR, and me and Coleman.
VR,
No,
and I decided
no,
to save
no,
you.
no,
I'll save you.
Tim, no VR.
It's fine.
No VR. You've got your own separate show for that. No VR.
Big
Get
shots
out.
is
Out.
fine.
Get out.
It's okay.
What?
It's,
What?
It's good. Big shots.
Get out.
It's fine.
Are
It's all
you
good.
done? Are you done?
Back shots.
I will save it for me and Kev doing VRB. We were going to do this one this earlier this week, and then
Right.
that fell through because I had to work late. Hence the fact I haven't played much this week as well. I was at the theatre
So
last
what
night
you're
as
saying
well,
is, due
which,
to your grueling work schedule, the internet's had a stay of execution from you prattling on about VR
Yes.
for an hour.
I had to
and a
work
half.
late Monday, tabletop Tuesday on Tuesday as
Right.
normal,
Took for a
and
drink
then
on
Wednesday I was at
Wednesday,
the
right,
theatre. So hey,
Nice. Okay.
Busy
Thursday,
times.
Friday, Saturday, chilled on Sunday. Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So we ought to talk about what we done played. So I've been paddling in the shallow waters of early access this week for No Rest for the Wicked. So this isn't a full review because it is still. And my God, this game is very much early access. Coleman, you mentioned you were thinking about giving it a go. Did you check it out in the end, or?
No, I didn't. I mean, no.
No.
I was like, there's a story there. No, there isn't.
No,
I'm still
right, okay.
I'm still very much sold on Baldur's Gate 3. So I'm just
Mhm.
trying to clear some space to get into that. This one looks like something
Oh.
I'd probably go in for after early access when all the bugs are ironed out and jump in after that.
I'm very interested in this game, but I can't. Well, you know me, I don't really play on Steam, so I can't really play at the moment. Or I possibly
Good
could,
news,
but
Timothy.
I'm not going to.
Good.
But yeah, I'm keen to hear you talk
Good
about it. Put it that
chuffing
way.
news to you, because whilst this is just early access on PC, it is going to be coming to PS5
Yes.
and your Xbox Series. So No Rest for the Wicked is from Moon Studios, who are probably more famous for, I think, the Ori series of games. And it's I would describe it as kind of an action RPG, I think is the way to describe it, with kind of like almost a Diablo-esque camera position, so kind of 3/4 and above. Really far zoomed out, but with a heavy dose of Dark Souls in there, or the Souls-like games. I think one of the things that is very surprising, because you look at it and you go, oh, it looks a bit like Diablo, and kind of your monkey brain, in my case, kind of expects a similar kind of game. This is so far removed from that. It's very slow and methodical, certainly that in terms of the loot that it drops for you in the early game. I got like a big old swinging mace and armor, which basically means I need to sit down after every couple of steps I take. But it's very much that kind of, you've got to read the enemies, you've got to be very slow, methodical, you've got to wait for the opening, you can't rush into things.
Very deliberate, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, it is very deliberate. And that, I think, because you're so used to a certain type of game from something that looks like this, it does take you a bit by surprise. But early signs are pretty good. I have to say, I'm not really that much into my Souls likes, but I thought this looks interesting. I kind of quite like this viewpoint. I kind of feel like Souls games, I was always getting absolutely done from horrible things creeping up behind me and prodding stuff into me, which I never particularly like. Whereas this, you've got a much better view of the environment, and I kind of feel that you can plan a little bit accordingly. So this came out early access. I think it was 18th of April was the first day it came out. And I picked it up for, I think, the princely sum of £31, because they had we've just gone into early access, have some money off. Picked it up on Steam, on PC, since it's the only place you can play at the moment, and have been largely doing it on my desktop PC. And I'm very glad I have, because my goodness, this is where the first bit of early access comes in. This game is terribly optimized. It looks fantastic. It looks absolutely gorgeous. It is the visual design of this game is fantastic. It's like you are almost like you're kind of not really kind of playing a comic book. That's the wrong way to put it, but it's got a very rich visual style. The character design I would sum up as everyone's clearly forgot leg day. Just going to put that out there. Everyone's got very large forearms for some reason. I don't understand.
Yeah.
They're not normal shapy people, but that's part of the visual charm, I guess. But in terms of, while it does look lovely, it absolutely punishes your hardware. So my PC, this is where Tom's going to get snarky in a couple of seconds. So I've got like an 11th gen Intel processor, which runs a bit hot the best times, and a RTX 3080. So, not top end of things, but a decent spec. Coleman is being an absolute. I know. All right. So
Tipping top of the spec to you.
All I'm saying is that I didn't need to sell a kidney for it. But yeah,
someone's doing all right.
I knew exactly that's what you're going to say.
No one told me there was going to be boasting.
Yep. All right. So how many frames per second are you going to get on your potato, Coleman, is kind of what I'm like, I know. But it absolutely canes your PC. It really, really, really rinses it. So you are going to need, at least at this stage, quite a decent PC to get anything. Steam Deck, if I was lucky, I could get 20 frames a second, sometimes single-digit frames a second. It is not a good Steam Deck experience at the moment.
Does it look like a flicker book?
Yes.
Is it one of those deck games that produces steam from the vent?
No.
What a witty comment! No.
It isn't Steam.
With my 47th gen, 28,000 core, 60 billion teraflop PC.
But didn't you just drop a large amount of dosh on a PC, though, Coleman?
We don't like to talk about that.
Yeah. So, young man.
Whoops.
Yep.
Shame.
Didn't you do that? Didn't you do that?
Is that where we stopped doing the podcast for a bit?
All right, fair enough. So yeah. So, but I mean, I think it's got a lot of promise. This game, it's got a lot of promise at the moment.
That's what I've heard elsewhere as well.
I mean, I'm kind of willing to learn the Souls-like approach to these things. I think my inner button masher still gets a bit too excited. I'm like, yeah, he's go and club something round the. Oh, I'm dead again. Damn it. And it's got.
You have an inner button masher.
I have an inner button.
So he's not
masher.
allowed in public.
Yeah, it's true. Very true. That's why I've always got to be escorted by an adult.
He's been banned from most stores.
I have.
Yeah.
I love mashing them buttons, especially those big red ones on the wall with fire alert on it. It's great. Love them. They're the best ones because they make the best noise.
I was trying to see if we had one.
No. So
That one.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly that. See, that is the best noise. If you love your Souls-like games, probably you're going to get a lot more enjoyment out of this in its early access stage. I think it feels like it's still, they've kind of got a lot of the visual flair there, but they've just got a lot of optimizing to do. There's a couple of slightly janky edges to the gameplay. I mean, the kind of parry and block mechanics, I know it's a Souls-like, but it does feel a bit brutal in terms of
Bit
where it
unforgiving.
throws you in at the deep end. And I don't know whether this is just my terrible RNG at the beginning of the game, but being given very heavy, very slow weapons to start out with, you know, it'd be good if they gave you a mix of all of the weapon types just to explore which one suits your playstyle the best, rather than being a kind of just a massive lurching, very slow thing that hits hard, but it tells everyone about a week before you're going to hit them that you're going to hit them. Yeah, I think watch this space. I think early access might not be for everyone at the moment. And if you have a butler, you've probably got the PC that can run this at the moment. So yeah, but if it's I think this is going to be great when it's got a bit more polish. And I look forward to kind of revisiting it on the podcast when it's a bit nearer release.
Do you think it's just because, I mean, because they're obviously talented developers. They've got a lot of praise through making the Ori series, or in the Blind Forest and that sort of stuff. But do you think because this is a thing that's slightly unfamiliar to them that they've gone with the early access, or do you think it's because it's a slightly difficult genre to kind of make, and an early access suits them for that purpose? Do you get a feeling either way on that?
I mean, I think I've got a feeling they're using this. I mean, the balance doesn't feel way off, but I've got a feeling they're using this as a way to see how people try and min-max, see what balancing passes they need to do.
Right.
I think that's because it is, you're right, a slightly unfamiliar territory to them. I think they want to see kind of where the community takes like the builds and the loadouts, and if there's kind of a critical path to this is the equipment you must have and to stand a chance in the game. So they probably want to make sure that kind of it's balanced in a way that encourages diverse play styles, a bit like the best Souls-like games do.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably where they're going with this. But yeah, I mean, it seems like there's very much kind of the bits of kind of lore and story that I've seen in the game set it up really nicely. And there's kind of a nice bit of kind of mystery about discovering the world around you, which is always fun. I mean, I think I think this could turn into a fantastic game. It's a pretty good game at the moment, is how I would describe it, with some rough edges, needs a massive performance pass, probably needs a little bit of tweaking in terms of how... I know Souls games are not meant to be forgiving, but I think perhaps out of the gate, it could ease you into things just maybe a little bit more.
But from what you've seen, the problems are more technical problems at this stage and slight balancing issues rather than anything horrifically wrong with it.
Absolutely. At the core of this is a corking game.
Cool. All right. Well, that's no rest for the wicked. Wicked?
Wicked.
No rest for the wicked.
Wicked.
It's
All right,
out
yes.
in early access on Steam right now, and that's coming to PS5 and Xbox Series X and S sometime. And it's $34.99. I think there's a discount at the moment. Takes
Yes,
it down
there
to
is.
like 31, 32, something like that.
For 2 weeks, I believe. So
Not bad.
2 weeks.
Yeah. 2 weeks.
Yeah. After we learnt with Baldur's Gate 3, I think, especially if you're into the game style that's in early access, even if it is a bit rough around the edges, it can usually pay off to get it in early access because they tend to get a price hike when they go into version
Through
1.
that.
So we'll see.
I could see this at full release going for $49.99 or 50 quid if you want to be sensible and not say lots of numbers.
I mean, especially on console, I could see that going 56.
Oh god, so. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Do we know who's publishing this?
Or
are they self-publishing?
I think they're self-publishing.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense for the early access as well, because that's an early revenue stream afforded to them as well. So makes sense.
So yeah, it's
publisher is apparently private division.
And they are subsidiaries of Take-Two, of course.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Take-Two are growing again.
Are they?
Since I think so, after the Embracer stuff. So
they're going to be Take-3 all of a sudden, yeah?
Shut up.
Maybe. Take a break. Take a kick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what I've been playing, guys? If you can't tell by the
hurts.
backdrop on the video.
What have you been playing, Coleman? Could it have anything
go.
to do with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Quite possibly, or if you're from the UK like us, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Are they still sticking to that? Are they still trying to call it Hero in the regional release?
No, they're banned.
No, that stopped in the late 90s, I think.
Turned out we didn't all turn into psychopathic sword-wielding maniacs just from hearing the word ninja. Who would have thought?
Why was the word ninja ever banned? I never understood that.
I know. It was like, oh, no, it's a bit racy. They might start stabbing people.
It was ninjas and nunchucks. We weren't allowed nunchucks. So whenever Michelangelo in the cartoon would attack people with his nunchucks, you would just see him sort of spin them above his head, and then you would never see him strike anyone in the UK.
Yep.
Same with the films as well. They would cut those.
Peace sticks.
I was watching a retrospective on this, and it was some Australian guys talking about all the censorship in the Turtles films, and they were talking about in the second one how they tried to get around the censorship by having Michelangelo attack people with like 2 salamis on strings rather than nunchuck, and that still got cut in the UK. And I was watching that going, I swear I've seen this scene though, and then I checked, and yeah, we had a bootleg VHS when I was a kid, so that's probably why. Anyway, yes, I've been playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade.
You wouldn't steal a
Wrath
turtle.
of the Mutants. And I kind of jumped to the chance of this because A, I'm a giant man-child who grew up on Turtles and loved the Turtles franchise. And B, I was not aware of what this game was and was quite interested. But this is a port of a arcade game from 2017, which I misunderstood the assignment. I thought this was a remake of the...
Very awesome game. From the 90s.
Yeah, I thought it was a remake of the Konami 90s arcade game that...
They already did that, didn't they?
They did. Well, no, they re-released that one.
Yes.
I thought that this was a remake using the 2014 Nickelodeon Turtles. So wanted to get in on that. It wasn't. It was an arcade game that came out in 2017 that I had no idea existed. And probably should just stay in 2017 because it's not a remake. It's a port. And if you are interested, PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, it's out now. It's $24.99. That gets out of the way. I will preface, this is a a code that was sent to me to play from a PR company, and I'm not liking it. It's
Oh dear.
kind of like
Oh.
it's kind of like the dumbed down, simplified version of the arcade game, which the original arcade game. This is technically an arcade game, so that's why it's going to get confusing.
Yes.
Right.
But whenever I talk about what a Turtles arcade game, I assume one, even though there were a few in the 90s. So, yeah, this came out in 2017, and you play as the 4 Turtles, Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael, and it's your regular side-scrolling beat-em-up affair. You go up against different characters that you might know from the cartoon, especially if you watch that 2000s Nickelodeon version of Turtles. Some of them you recognize as well, because I didn't realize characters like Razor that were in the Secret of the Ooze in the 90s had been brought into the cartoons. So there's characters like that you'll see. And basically you go through, you beat up a bunch of baddies and their foot soldiers and the like. You get midway through the level and they'll throw like a mid-level boss at you. You fight them, you beat them, you carry on, and then at the end, you'll get a second boss that you have to fight, and then you've beaten that level. The idea is you go through, I think it's 6 different levels. So New York City, the sewers, Dimension X, and a few other different places as well. And then once you've done all of those places, you can go up against Shredder and the Super Shredder, also from Secret of the Ooze.
Also,
not Kevin Nash, unfortunately.
Point I heard somewhere else, like the original arcade didn't have 2 of those levels. 2 of those levels are new for this version of the game, apparently.
Yes, that is right.
I have a question.
Go for it.
Why does this game look like butts?
Because...
That's very unkind.
It is true.
It looks like Turtles.
Unfortunately, yeah, because I thought this was a remake. I didn't realize it was a straight port of a 6-year-old arcade game. But even so, booting this up, I was like, wow, why does this look so janky and weird? And it kind of looks like they've taken lower than a 720p game and stretched it out into 1080 or to 4K.
Because
something very odd, like there's a graininess to it that's very off-putting.
Because when I saw this, I wondered actually if it was like kind of a mobile game. To be honest with you, I thought, oh, this looks like pretty good. It could be a pretty
look
sweet
like a mobile game. Yeah, that's a shame. It does look like a mobile game.
It's also the worst looking Bebop I've ever seen in anything.
Oh,
ever.
yeah, he's all skinny and he disco dances. Yeah, he does like little Michael Jackson moves.
And why do all the turtles have like leg warmers? They all look like they're wearing leg warmers.
That's just the mid 2000s CG style of Nickelodeon at the time, I think. But this isn't the aesthetic they're using anymore. So it's an outdated version of the Turtles.
Wow.
Not even like the best version. But yeah, if you find the arcade game difficult, and the arcade game is difficult. It's a 90s arcade game that the whole point was to keep putting your
original
money in
arcade
over and over
or
again.
This abomination.
The original arcade version.
Okay,
That was the
good one.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, I love that version of the game. I'll play it through a bunch of times, but I will admit it is a hard arcade game to get through. This one is a lot easier, and it seems to be much more geared towards kids. If you got kids that like the Turtles and you want to play with them, and you can play 4-player with them, or you got multiple kids that they got friends. If there's kids involved to be playing this game, it seems more geared towards them because there's an easy mode which makes the game way too easy. There's a normal mode which makes the game too easy, and then if you beat the game in normal, then you can play it in hard, which also seems quite easy-ish. It's not particularly that challenging. But it's going to be something for younger fans of the Turtles. And
I
there
just
are
think that's a slight reductive kind of way to go, though, because kids don't necessarily like something just because it's easy, and they won't necessarily dislike something because it's hard, no? Like... I don't know.
I mean,
I get your point, but I'm just
I mean, I think that's some of the criticism I've seen leveled at this. It was kind of like they did dumb it down almost a bit too much. That there's a lot of kind of side-scrolling arcade-style beat 'em up like Street Rage 4, which have balanced the difficulty well and are not kind of ridiculously hard, but do have some interesting mechanics. Whereas this is literally dumbed down pretty much, as far as I can work out from what I've read, that walk up to man, smash button, you win, rinse, repeat, rather than there necessarily being, thinking about how you're going to approach certain encounters using your character. There's no real strategy to it. It is just mash buttons until win, really.
Yeah, pretty much. So the kind of genius of Shredder's Revenge, the arcade inspired Turtles game that came out 2 years ago now. That was taking the aesthetic of the Turtles arcade game and then adding in more like more home arcade style. So you've got button combos and things like that, rather than just mash square and mash X. And that's all there is pretty much to this. It's mash square for attack, and then X to jump, and there's a jump, ground and pound attack. And then everything else is kind of power-up based. If you hit triangle, you've got a turtle power move. And depending on what character you have, so if you're, and they are quite cute. If you're Donatello, you pull out a device that electrocutes everyone on screen. If you're Leonardo, you spin around with your katana and kind of slice everyone up in a big whirlwind style. And if you're Michelangelo, you throw a pizza in the air and then just keep slicing it while it hurls slices of pizza at people. That's quite cool.
How does he slice a pizza with sticks? With nunchucks? They are not an optimum pizza slicing device.
No, that should be almost anyone. And also, how do pizzas hurt people? Like that should give them more energy.
Frozen,
not less.
Frozen pizza.
They are
frozen.
If you've
bad frozen pizza.
If you've ever been an unwitting bystander in a gluten-free pizza from Pizza Hut,
you should know this, Tim. You should know this, Tim. You're a gluten-free man yourself.
That's not food. That's a weapon of destruction right there.
Okay, fair enough. It's gluten-free pizza that's been thrown out. Okay, I'm glad we've established that. That's fine. That I can believe.
I mean, as a man with a gluten intolerance, Tim, you should know about all this stuff, because they could hurl a pizza at you and you'd be like, delicious pizza. My stomach!
They're going for the
They'll
slow
take you out of
burn.
action for a bit.
You
wouldn't make it.
Going for the chip damage for you, Tim.
You wouldn't make it in the Foot Clan, Tim.
No, chips don't damage me. They're gluten-free. That's fine.
Anyway, yeah, and some of the other enjoyable parts, it's seeing, I mean, because I'm not familiar with this version of the cartoon. I was way too old when this thing came out. But it's the reimagining of the characters, like Leatherhead, the alligator. You saw a clip in the video. He's like a big hulking, rather than the silly Australian version. And I like there's power-ups as well that you can get other characters to jump in and help you, like Leatherhead and it's not Chrome Dome. Who's the other one? There's that
the
robot turtle.
Robo-turtle thing. Yeah, I can't remember his actual name. Turtlehead?
Sure, Turtlehead. That would do. Turtlehead, the robot dome.
Right.
It's something head. I don't think it's Turtlehead.
He's got a head like a turtle. What should we call it?
I think
Turtlehead. Right.
Just remembered what turtle heading is, but no, definitely not that.
Speaking of gluten intolerance, I think it might be Metalhead.
If it's gluten intolerance, you don't tend to get so much of a warning. I wouldn't say that's like a Turtlehead knocking.
I think it's Metalhead. I get confused because there's a bad guy called Chrome
That's right.
Dome
Yes,
as well.
Metalhead. Yes. But one thing, I have a question, Mr. Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been mostly playing it in single player? Because this type of game is usually more fun in multiplayer.
Mostly single, tried it in multiplayer, but it doesn't make the game any enjoyable. It just means that the enemies go quicker.
that might add to the enjoyment. It's usually scrolling beat 'em ups are usually more fun, more people, especially arcadey style.
Well, I'm going to try this with a man called Rick, as he's the biggest Turtles fan I know. I think he's got Turtles tattoos. He's the biggest Turtles fan I know, so we'll give this a try at some point together.
Okay,
but playing it with randos, I don't recommend it.
With randos are like what is well down on the list of things I want to do. You found that? Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't recommend it for like diehard Turtle fans that need to play the newest Turtles game. And if you might have already played this in arcades already. There might be some enjoyment if you've got younger children
7 years ago.
Can't really get into the challenging games just yet, and they're big Turtles fans, maybe. I think so. £25 available on all the platforms, it seems.
All the platforms?
All the platforms. PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One.
Xbox One.
One. Yeah.
Right.
All right. Those are the games we done played.
They are the games we done played. You are correct.
We don't have a lot of news this week.
No, we don't.
It's been a relatively quiet week.
A smattering of news.
Because we mentioned Embracer Group earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Because I don't know if you guys know this. Embracer Group's in a fair bit of debt. and they're trying to get rid of
have
that
heard.
debt. Yes. So they've been cancelling projects. They've been selling studios and properties. They've been going every which way and loose and trying to sort things out.
Because we all know the best way for a game development company to not make money is to not make games. Like, that's the fastest way to not make money, I guess.
Well,
That
I mean,
was
so-
very
money.
strange then.
Yes.
Him.
I know it
Basically-
didn't come out entirely right, but, hey.
there was a whole thing where the Embracer Group they were buying up properties left, right, and center, and then they were trying to do a deal with the Saudi government that was reported as a $2 billion
Saudi investment
deal.
fund.
Sorry, a Saudi investment. No, it's tied to the government.
Saudi investment group with ties to the Saudi government.
Yes. And it all fell through at the last minute, and that's left them in a ridiculous amount of debt, and they've had to offset that debt in whatever ways they can going forward. And they've announced this week that they're actually going to split the Embracer Group up into 3 different separate companies. You can have the Asmodee Group.
Asmodee. but
Sorry, Asmodee Group, Coffee Stain and
might be more
Friends.
French than that, but yeah.
Asmodee Group,
What?
Coffee Stain and
French.
Friends. And the
Oh.
Middle Earth Enterprises in France.
the Middle Earth. Le Midi Earth?
Is Embracer Group French or?
Avec friends.
No, but Asmodee is a French company.
Gotcha.
But it's really weird though, because Asmodee kind of bought up bought up a lot of board game companies and a lot of
Yes.
subsidiaries, Fantasy Flight, and a lot of other things. So they kind of like amalgamated all of them together, and then they got bought out by Embracer, who were amalgamating lots of things together. So it's really weird. But also the thing that I find weird is that Asmodee Group are just Asmodee, Coffee Stain and Friends, and then Middle Earth Enterprises and Friends. Why is Asmodee the only one left without friends when they make all the board games that you need friends
Aw.
to play with?
Aw.
Don't know, but Asmodee is going to be taking the reins on all the tabletop development. Coffee Stain and Friends are going to focus on the indie and AA and premium free-to-play games for PC, console, and mobile. And Middle Earth Enterprises and Friends, as you may have guessed, they'll be focusing on the Lord of the Rings and AAA development of games, including Tomb Raider and other intellectual properties that they've acquired.
My brain just did a completely mad mashup there when you said Lord
Mm.
of and then said Rings.
Flies.
My brain went Michael Flatley, and I ended up with some kind of
Lord of
Boromir
the
and
Dance.
Michael Flatley combo, which is very odd.
I want to see a Middle Earth Lord of the Dance now.
Yep.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, Mr. Frodo.
Oh, Mr. Flatley.
Oh,
I-
Mr. Flatley.
I may not be able to dance with you, but I can dance for you. Or the other way around. I don't know.
Yeah.
Good old Embracer.
Oh, the fun we had.
hmm
Mm.
Interesting one this week. Well, depending on your definition. You may remember
Okay.
a little game called LittleBigPlanet 3, which
Never heard
came
of
out
it.
towards the end of the PS3, start of the
Never heard of that
PS4,
either.
became a
Mhm.
mid-title between the two. And this was the first Little Big Planet console game that wasn't done by Medium Molecule. This was Sumo Digital, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this has had problems from the launch all the way going through to the modern day. It's had servers hacked and all kinds of things going on. And then randomly at the start of the year, the servers just shut down. And
Oh.
we've had no reason as to why. And all of a sudden, it's not coming. We don't know if it's coming back. They've just said, hey, the servers, they're down for the foreseeable future. So there's ongoing technical issues cited from Sony. So if you have games upload, levels, because the whole point of Little Big Planet, as well as being an okay platformer and your ability to make other games as well, it's a level creator and all these kind of things. It's Mario Maker before Mario Maker, and probably a lot more in depth thinking about it. Any levels that you made that were uploaded online, they are inaccessible. If you have them saved locally to your computer, they're accessible. And that's about it. But it is a shame because I was a big fan of Little Big Planet and Little Big Planet 2. I tried Little Big Planet 3. I had the same issues as everyone else did, technical issues from launch going forward. I think that was one of my review games, actually, when that first came out. And it kind of took me out of the community, and it probably didn't help that Media Molecule moved on to Dreams forever. Media Molecule kind of moved on to Dreams and spent forever trying to get it out, and it finally came out. And I know it's big in certain circles, but it didn't quite, considering it was the game that they announced with the PlayStation 4. It kind of went with a bit of a whimper, and now they've stopped development for that game completely. So it's just kind of running in sleep mode in the background. But yeah.
Do you think we should be worried about Media Molecule? Like, with Dreams not getting support on the PS5, that's a bit worrying considering how many years they put into it, and a lot of other people put time and effort into building that. They probably lost a bit more confidence from the people that developed stuff for, or made levels for LittleBigPlanet 3 with this problem as well. Like, I don't know how worried we should be about the future of Media Molecule, and obviously they've always had I don't think they're not owned by Sony. No, they just develop games for them. I think I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they're Sony owned or not.
Talk amongst yourselves, and I'll find out.
Oh yeah, have an investigation, but that might. I don't know if it would be better or worse if they're independent from Sony, because Sony does have a tendency to just close people down all of a sudden once they've had a difficult time or a couple of failures.
They are a first party studio. They're owned by Sony.
Yeah, so I'm hopeful that's not the case, because even though I wasn't a massive fan of Dreams, like I really like the idea of it. It's just, if it had come out like 20 years ago, or if I was much younger, is the bigger point, then I would have had more time put into it, and I think I would have got more out of it.
Yeah.
But because that didn't really suit my, the time available and the lifestyle I have now and all that type of stuff, it didn't really. And also, clubbing. But LittleBigPlanet before it, again, I love the idea, but I'm historically, anyone that's listened to the show will know that I'm not the biggest fan of platforming, and that was all that what this was based around. So Dreams kind of opening up did appeal to me slightly, but it was very involved and took quite a lot of time. And I don't know, I think I've got more fond memories of Mod Nation Racers than any of the actual LittleBigPlanet things. Apart from the side, just because I like that style of game more, and I like the levels that I built in that, and I actually built some levels in that where I didn't really do with LittleBigPlanet. The only thing I really liked about LittleBigPlanet is one of the games I played with my nephew when he was quite young, and we had some nice memories from that, basically. But other than that, and I like Sackboy as a character. I like the Sackboy adventure thing as well. I thought that was really good, but that didn't seem to do very well as well, unfortunately. Yeah, and like the musical levels and that were amazing. But yeah, I don't know where they go next, and I'm worried about if Sony don't like the look of where they're going next, that Sony might just start handing out some P45s to the Sackboy and friends. But yeah,
I'm surprised we've not heard that already. I got to admit, even though, I mean, back in the day, a lot of people were talking about Dreams before it came out and how long it was taking to develop, and the fact that it came out towards the end of the PS4 life cycle probably didn't help it. But apparently, according to a lot of sources behind the scenes, Sony were happy for Media Molecule to just keep going with this. They liked what they were doing. But it didn't really take off in such a big way. And I do think there should have been a PS5 port. There should have been something that was much like, what was it? The Astrobot game for the PS5. They should have been included as like a free thing on the PS5 when it launched. They should have been given away on PlayStation Plus. Like, there should have been, hey, here's your PS5. Here's all the games that you could possibly own because they're made by fans, things to try out. A PSVR 2 thing should have been included, because you could make PSVR games in that. Like, there's a lot of potential with that game that didn't happen, and I've got a feeling that might be COVID related. A lot of budget cutting and stuff.
A big part of the problem for me is that they've always done the kind of creator stuff, and but also like pushing the envelope a little bit, and doing a bit more experimental stuff with game creation. But Sony don't seem to be backing those sorts of projects anymore, and they don't seem to be, sort of supporting that, or at least looking like they're as supportive of those sort of projects as they were. And that makes me very worried for Media Molecule. And I'm hopeful that is not the case, and I'm hopeful that they've got.
I don't know. I'm going to play devil's advocate a bit here. I think we're reading too much into this. This is an old ass game that is only costing them money to keep going.
No,
and I think I think if they said that, look, just as long as this continues to work and we don't have to really invest much in it, other than just keeping the lights on, as it were, then fine. But as soon as it starts needing active investment to keep an old game that's not generating profit going, then that does, at the end of the day, it's business, and that slightly alters the dynamics when they come to writing the check for that every year.
To be fair, I completely forgot we were talking about LittleBigPlanet 3, which isn't a Media Molecule game, and got kind of sidetracked with Media Molecule.
Yeah, no. It was more the fact I don't think that this is a big sign of that. What I was saying was, like, we haven't heard anything from Media Molecule at the moment. This reminded me of the fact that we haven't, and that Dreams hasn't been on PS5, and we don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And just in general, that I am worried about them.
I think we're just eating up time.
Yes.
Well, there's that.
We have a bit of time to spare this week, and we just needed to eat a little bit up.
Yeah. But this is just basically a thinly veiled ploy to stop me talking about the new Destiny Final Shape trailer, of course.
Oh, yeah, you really want to talk about that?
Well, I mean, I thought I should mention it, because that launch date is coming up soon. Get ready, Tim. Beginning of June. Whoa, I'm going to be talking about Destiny. You might want to take the week off or something like that.
Yes.
So, yeah, this is the kind of, that they're really ramping up their social media ahead of the eventual launch of the Final Shape. So this basically is all about Cade, good old Nathan Fillion in robot form, who was very much everyone's favorite character out of Destiny and who got killed off in the Forsaken expansion. But he's very much looking to be like the main narrative lead, certainly from what we've seen so far. So although he did, it turns out actually he's still alive in a paracausal way, because why not? That's what Bungie say whenever there's a potential plot point that needs expansion. Go, it's paracausal, mate. Paracausal. It's a bit like Marvel with alternate timelines. Alternate timeline, mate. Yeah,
it's the causals they would send into the battle zone with parachutes.
Indeed. They are the causals. They are the most highly trained causals. So
the city answer to Wurzels.
Yeah.
The causals.
The causals, yes.
That's the Irish Wurzels.
I don't even know where I'm going with that. I don't even know. So many things I could say that I'm glad my brain just engaged the filter before I got too stuck into that. Yes, so it's all about, he's ended up inside the Traveller, which is the big ball that hasn't really done anything. Still hasn't really done a great deal, apart from getting a giant multicolored triangle window in the front of it. But anyway, that's where you're going in for the end of Destiny, because that's where the big bad that's what the big bad wants to destroy. He wants to destroy the Traveller from the inside out, and he's trying to corrupt it.
Is the final shape a sphere, Dan?
I think we've had this conversation before.
We have.
Dodecahedron.
You said dodecahedron, but
it's one of them. Final shape.
D20.
Yep.
The D20.
Okay.
The band.
Yes. But we've had gameplay reveals which kind of introduce new subclasses. It looks like it's going to be a bit of a kind of a bit of a greatest hits of Destiny. A lot of, I know, Tim, you're gonna get triggered by this. A lot of reimaginings of previous destinations, because it's paracausal, and that's what goes on inside the Traveller. So you get to relive all of the fun things you did over your 10 years of Destiny. But it does look like there's a lot of going to be a lot of new content in there as well. Like I said, they revealed a new subclass, which is mashing up kind of some of the really great abilities you have in existing subclasses. It looks like it's going to be fun. It looks like it's going to be fun times. Really nice kind of art design as always for it, and of course I love Destiny. I'm stoked for it.
Are you? Do
love
you?
Destiny? Yes, you will also be stoked for it.
You kept that quiet,
but I think for many people, if
more.
they haven't really been following Destiny, it might be worth waiting to see until what Bungie do after the Final Shape if you want to get stuck in for the very first time. Yeah. Anyway,
your views intrigue me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.
Do you?
Yes. Destiny, the Final Shape, that's out the 4th of June, I believe, 2024.
Yars.
Or 2025, that'd be funny.
yeah, at the last minute. See ya.
The day before.
Yep. So, about that.
Hey, I know we're short on news this week. I just wanted to check how we all doing with
Ah.
Fallout. Did we all finich the Fallout show?
Oh, I haven't had a chance yet.
Oh, I really liked it.
I did finish it.
I hear it work. It ends well.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it went
Well-
a little bit off in the
No,
episodes
no,
after.
no.
No, I'm not going into details, but like some of the episodes just before the last one were a little bit wishy-washy, but I think it really stuck the landing. So I think it's definitely worth sticking with, and I think it's generally good overall.
I thought it was really weird when that Deathclaw turned up and it was Macho Man Randy Savage stretched over it.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, wait, sorry, that's my Fallout 4 game that I've been playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Fallout 4 is great when you mod the hell out of it.
Yep.
Just-
Shame all of those things are broken now.
Just give yourself like the best power armor, the best guns, and just tear the world apart. It's so fun. Launch nukes whenever you want to. Just blow craters in the world. Great. Love it. I need another version of the. Do you remember when they did like Anchorman 2 and then they went, oh, we've got all these alternate cuts so we can make a second version of Anchorman 2? And I think they ended up making like 4 different versions. We need that.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, we need that with the Fallout TV show. Like we need Fallout streaming on Prime, and then we need Fallout the same season but with mods. So people are running around in wacky, bizarre armaments, and everyone's got a power suit on and unlimited ammo. Nukes are got. Randy Savage is over there.
Right.
He's a dragon.
Okay.
Oh yeah!
Oh god.
The dragon board turns up. It's good. It's good. Boss Rodar.
Force Rodar.
Boss Rodar.
Yeah,
Take
that's
that,
what I
dragon.
sound like when I'm playing Skyrim.
Hey.
Oh, my look at BPC, Coleman.
No!
Force Rodar.
Dr. Dan the Fop here. I wish to play this game on my PC at 120 frames a second, you peasants.
Yep, that's right.
So I have a monocle to see all the frames. From Media
I still
Molecule.
haven't started. I still haven't started New Vegas either.
What
but
a
hey.
bellend.
Okay. Fallout 4, mod the hell out of it.
Okay.
Good. Fallout TV
Unless
show,
you're playing
really
on
good.
consoles.
I hope people are enjoying it. I think we have a TV discussion section on Discord we can talk about and warn people about spoilers and stuff.
Mhm.
That sounds fun. Maybe I'll do that after the show. But that is
Okay.
everything that we have to talk about, except for maybe some form of store that might contain a face on it.
You mean a place that people should go on the internet to buy my face? That's right, tpublic.com/store/BRB, buy my face. Everything you could possibly want my face on is there. And things that you might not want my face on, you can probably buy there as well. That's right. You want a face mask with my face on it, that's what you can go to. Do you want a baby grow with my face on it? You can also have
Kinda.
that. That blows my mind that you
Oh.
can get a baby grow with my face on it. All of those
Can I
things.
fit it on the cat?
tpublic.com. Now could you fit it on the cat?
I'm thinking that. Might need to make some alterations.
My cat doesn't have a tail, so he's probably a bit more of a shoe-in for the baby grow.
Oh.
3 cats,
You could
3
make a
baby
half
grows,
hotel.
3 grown men with nothing better to do.
All now in trouble
3 men
with the
and a cat
RSPCA.
baby.
He's
Now we
fitting
tend
it.
to start these shows and go, oh, I've been really busy this week with work. Oh, me too. I haven't even been able to show up because I'm too busy for work. So what have I done this week? I've been sticking baby grows on
Trying to
cats.
put my cat in a baby grow. What?
Spiky Chris says, I can confirm you can fit a baby grow on a cat.
Excellent.
I
Thanks, Chris.
don't want to know his evidence. Do not show the evidence.
Buy my face. tpublic.com/store/BRB.
That was worth
Go
it.
there.
Yes, Dan's
Dan's
face.
a fantastic man.
I certainly am, and I have a face. And get on things. Yes.
What's next?
Yes. I believe, Tim, Tuesday. It's Tuesday. You need to tell me
Believe me.
what happens on a Tuesday.
I don't believe you.
You don't believe me?
You son of a...
So, if you don't believe me, what is
Yes.
Tuesday if it's not a Tuesday?
What if I do believe you?
Well, then that's fine because Tuesday is Tuesday. And we've already established Tuesday's Tuesday.
I
It's
think
fine.
Tuesday is a Tuesday
Tuesday.
either way, Dan.
Yeah,
That's what I'm trying to establish.
No, but if Tuesday's not a Tuesday, then what is
Whether
Tuesday?
you don't believe me or you do believe me, Tuesday is still a Tuesday, Dan.
You've got Schrodinger's Tuesday. What's happening
for
on
anyone that
Schrodinger's
doesn't
Tuesday?
know, each and every Tuesday we do an event called Tabletop Tuesday at the Loading Bar in Stoke, Newington. Each Tuesday we have a different feature game, usually a board or a card game, and if you play that feature game that evening, you have a chance of winning a copy of the game at the end of the evening. Last week's event was really good fun, so thank you very much for everyone that came along for that. That was good. This week's feature game is a game called Downforce, which is actually a kind of racing game with a kind of betting and auction mechanic. Looks really good. It's made by a triforce of awesome game designers, one of which made Pandemic, which is quite a famous board game, obviously. As in the board game, not as in, he was responsible for
the pandemic. We know who did it.
Yeah.
Burn them.
Wow.
But Downforce is a cool little racing game. You'd like it, Dan, because it's got little F1 cars.
Yeah,
or F1
I like
looking
F1
cars in
cars.
it as well. Yeah, it's good. It's quick to play, like 20
like
to
to play
40
as the
minutes
hat.
or so. Does for up to 6 people as
Doesn't
well.
do so well in
it
the
should
F1.
be should be very well suited for Tabletop Tuesday events. There are more details on the top left-hand corner of Big Red Barrel, or you can join the over 2,100 plus members of our meetup group. Search for Tabletop Tuesday on meetup.com. Or just come along to the Loading Bar in Stoke Newington, play Downforce, possibly win a copy of the game in the evening. It's a really awesome prize, quite big, quite good. Should be a fun evening with a cool prize at the end. Come join us.
Excellent.
Cool.
Do that. So Tuesday is Tuesday. Do a thing.
Yes. And also, if you have enjoyed this show, then you are
I
a
have.
weirdo, but we love you all the same. Thank you very much. You can go over to bigredbarrel.com, and over there we have all the stuff that we tend to keep on the website, like the podcast and also
What?
the podcast. But there's other
What?
stuff there. There's older stuff. Things will happen. Watch this space. But
While you're saying that, I would also like to plug the fact that I produced blog content this week.
What?
Yes. So I got an interview with Digital Eclipse, Chris Collar, who's the kind of the
Coleman?
editorial, not Coleman.
Coleman.
But yeah, he's the kind of director behind. I talked about Digital Eclipse's game previously, which was Jeff Minter, the kind of documentary and game collection that they do. There's the Goldmaster series. So I had a little dig into kind of some questions with him and got kind of a bit more information. So that is up on the blog if you are interested in reading it. It is on there, and yeah, it goes into a bit of the more Goldmaster series stuff. Also, I mentioned it in the article, but just to mention here as well, the other stuff in the Goldmaster series that I previously mentioned when I spoke about on the show, which is the Atari collection. Well, the Atari collection actually predates the Goldmaster collection, but the making of Karateka, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. But both of those are currently on sale on PlayStation at the moment, so you might want to pick them up while they are cheap.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
BigRedBarrel.com. Over there we have, as well as Tim's blog content, we have a Discord link over there. We have different various types of social media. We are available on Facebook and X at Big Red Barrel, and Threads as well, sorry. And also we're available on YouTube, and we are available on Twitch, Big Red Barrel TV and Big Red Barrel. I've got to get those in line. YouTube, Big Red Barrel TV, and Twitch, Big Red Barrel. Thank you very much for watching. You can get in contact with us if you go through any of those methods, comments, Discord, whatever. Give us a chat, send us some questions. Leave us a review if you can. Whatever podcast platform you are listening to us on.
that story.
That's what
You
you need
can.
to do.
Leave us a review. 5 stars our favourite flavour. And if we particularly find it an entertaining review, or we'd just like to inflate our own egos, we might read it out on the show.
I would
think
like to
that's
see all
everything.
the reviews for this week being I'd like to see 5 stars.
I'm a stupid moron with an ugly face and a big butt, and my butt smells, and I like to kiss my own butt.
It's a very long clip. I'd also like to deny what Spiky Chris said
Hello,
on the
20th
show.
Century Fox lawyers. Thank you.
Yeah, I would also like to deny what Spiky Chris said earlier in the show because, yeah, the pandemic was not caused by me buying a New Year. There is no proof to that. You can't prove anything.
About theme, do ya? Accessory. Yeah.
Can I just correct you? It wasn't a purchasing decision. It was an investment as well. Okay.
Why don't you lay off the
Very
Asians?
clear about that. It was an investment. Right.
Shall we wrap up?
Yes, we probably should. This has been a show. Thank you for putting up with us. We might get better at this live stream thing in the future. Who knows? Keep
Not
an
bloody
eye out
likely.
Unlikely.
Keep an eye out on all of the
No
social media
promises.
things for news if we are deciding to do this again. So thank you one and all for joining us either live or joining us not live but on a podcast device of your choosing. So all that's really left for me to do is to remind you that I have been Dan.
I might have been Tim.
I'm off to stuff a cat in a baby grow.
Whoa.
With Dan's face on it.
I'm just really glad it
Stuffing
came out that
cats
way.
in
I
baby
really thought you were going to go, I'm going to go and stuff a baby grow and a cat.
When the RSPCA turn up, they're like, who could have done this atrocity? And it's just got a picture of Dan's face on it.
It was me.
Yeah.
Dan.
Ahoy hoy,
All
smeared
along.
on the wall in feces. Toodle bye.
It's environmental storytelling.
But anyway, that reminds me, I need to go to Laloo. That coffee's gone right through me.
Lovely.
Yeah, so we're going to go. Thank you for downloading us. And until next time, dear listeners, toodle bye.
TURTLE power, TURTLE power, TURTLE power, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, TURTLE power, TURTLE power, TURTLE power, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
You and your ears are quite welcome for the podcasting goodness that you just heard. Why not roll on over to BigRedBarrel.com for more podcasts, news, reviews, and videos from the biggest, reddest site on the internet, BigRedBarrel.com.
I really think they've got the tone of it absolutely bang on. And it doesn't, I mean, there's a couple of, I think, stylistic nods to certainly in some of the locales they go to, which, although this is